All right, today we're taking a look at a leak that is coming from between the bowl and the tank. Now this is a KOHLER canister style flush valve here, and I'm hoping I have the gasket, but let me just show you the leak. So every time you flush it, water starts leaking out from in this area, right where the tank meets the connection. So it only leaks when you flush it. We're gonna go ahead and figure out this problem. Turn off the water first. We'll flush out the remainder of the tank. You can see that water coming out there. Since we're gonna be pulling the tank, we're gonna go ahead and vacuum out the rest of the water on the inside. And now we wanna disconnect our supply hose to the tank. We can do that by hand. If you have to use a wrench, you can, just to get that free and out of the way. Now we need to get at these bolts that secure the tank. There's one on each side here, and so we can use a wrench or a pliers or a socket, anything to get those bolts loosened out. What I have is just a little wrench with a socket. This is a 1/2-inch wrench, but you can use basically anything. A little hard to get a camera angle on that. All right, we're in selfie mode, so it's going to look like I'm tightening, but I should be actually loosening this thing. Somebody actually stripped this one here a little bit. There we go. Got it a little bit loose. Okay, yeah, now it's loose enough that you can unscrew it by hand. All right, now I got the nuts on both sides of this, so this tank is going to be completely free. So I'm going to just lift up this tank here, take it off. There I can see my flush valve from the underneath side here. You can see you have this plastic bracket that's securing the flush valve, and then I have this gasket here, and this is the gasket that we need to replace. They do come in some different sizes, so I'll get some measurements on this and I'll try to link in the video the correct one that you need. But you can see all around here where that has been leaking. There's even some chips of what seem to be, I don't know, looks like a porcelain chip or something. Maybe this toilet was cracked, or maybe this is just calcium from the water. But I'm going to clean that up really good and make sure that that seal is going to make, if the porcelain is chipped, that's going to be a problem. A little piece of some emery cloth or Brillo pad type deal. You don't want that to be cracked, because that would mean a replacement toilet. But I think that's just hard water that's doing it, because it seems to be a relatively smooth surface here. Yeah, this is all smooth here, so we should be good to go. We'll clean this up a little bit more, and I'll be back with the correct gasket, and that should be all we need to fix this, a little couple dollar gasket. So it looks like the dry dock gasket in the 2-inch variant for me. If you buy it from KOHLER, it's about $7, or you can buy the whole thing, which looks like it includes it, for $23, and then you'll have extra spare parts. I think this is probably the way to go in this scenario, but again, there's a lot of different parts, so you got to measure. This is definitely the smaller one, the 2-inch. I happened to have this 3-inch one here, and this is the red one, so definitely we're looking for the yellow one there, and it did come with that gasket on the bottom, so I'm just going to go ahead and order that one. So they also have the bolt kit here, which I'm also going to add because those bolts are kind of stripped out. And if you look down here at the bottom, you can also get a tank plate. If your tank plate is all rusted out too, you could change that as well, which doesn't look like I need to do, but you could get the tank plate as well. And if yours is the red one, you could get the 3-inch instead of the 2-inch. If you have the red one, you could get just that gasket pretty quickly here on Amazon. Seems like the larger one is even cheaper. You can see there the 3-inch one is only 18 and this is 23. So, but overall, I mean, not bad to fix this thing instead of replacing the toilet. All right, I'm back, and I got the whole assembly now, which comes with the gasket that I thought was more economical just to purchase it with everything together. And I picked up some new bolts, which I may or may not use. I just grabbed them because the old ones were looking a little bit like the nuts were kind of warped on it. So the bolts can be replaced quite easily, but I think my bolts were really okay. It was just this washer that was kind of warped, and this one was kind of chewed up here. I probably could have gotten away with it, but since I got the new ones here, I'm going to go ahead and use those. You may be wondering, why not just change this whole thing? And you're welcome to keep wondering that, because all I want to do is put this on and solve the leak that we had. But technically, if you bought this whole thing, you could just unscrew this nut and screw this one back on. It wouldn't be that much more, but this is still functional. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the little yellow gasket, put a fresh seal in it, but the plastic itself is still fine, so I'll save this for somebody else. So I've just pressed this in with 2 hands to try to make sure it's as snug on there as possible. And now I'm going to set the toilet on the tank. Just got to kind of line up the bolts here. I think we got it. Make sure all those bolts are popping through. We're popping through. And we've got our nuts and washer. So now I'm going to take my nut and washer and go right on the bottom side here and get it started by hand as much as I can. I'm just using a 1/2-inch socket to tighten it. You want this to be solid, but not to the point where you start breaking any porcelain. So I don't know what torque I'm going to, but I'm just kind of going by experience and just by feel. You know, I want this to be pretty solid. I think it feels pretty good right now. So we can go ahead and attach our water line back on. And we can always tighten a little bit more, but once you tighten too much, you're going to be in trouble. So this is also a good time if your hose is also older. This one probably is due for replacement. We may end up replacing this, but if your hose is older, this is a great time to replace it, because a lot of times these will end up snapping, and you definitely don't want that. A burst water line is a lot. So I'm going to test it out, but I'm going to see if I have one of these on my truck, and we'll probably end up replacing this as well, just so we leave it with a little bit more peace of mind. I don't know if we have these big ones though. This is a 5/8. Okay. Now, to make sure that we don't have a running toilet, what we're going to do is we're going to reach on the inside here, and we're going to kind of twist to the left, and this whole piece will come out. And this rubber here, man, it actually looks like it's in really good condition. But since I'm here, I'll go ahead and take out the old one and I'll put in a new one. You could take it off of the whole assembly, or you can get these ones separately. And it just kind of sits in there. And then this cross piece at the bottom, this will actually line up on the inside here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. On the inside, there's a little spot right there in the middle where it has to line up, and then it twists 1/2 turn. So this would be the fix if the toilet was also running a little bit also. So you got to kind of line it up and then twist to the right until it kind of clicks. And now we can turn our water back on. Good water pressure. And then we'll do a test flush. Yep. Okay, tank is full of water back here. So if we've done it right, shouldn't have any more water leaking out of here. Looks pretty good. Nice and dry. So I'm going to call this one fixed. I'm going to go get another hose for this. If you live in a home, you may want to consider hitting the subscribe button, because I fix all kinds of things on my channel, not just this. Got some great content. If you need these parts, I will leave a link to what I got from Amazon in the description, and affiliate link will help support my channel and what I do here. Let me a comment, let me know what you think, and hopefully you can fix your toilet too.